meeting of the 2nd of December. Can you believe it? It's the 2nd of December already. And our final full meeting of the year, apart obviously from the brief budget meeting we are going to be having later next week. Today on the agenda, we have a briefing by the Department of Environmental Affairs and Development Planning in Cape Nature on the first quarterly performance and expenditure report for July to September 2025. That will be followed by a briefing from the Department of Local Government on the first quarterly performance and expenditure report for July to September 2025. After that, we will then be adopting our committee documents and taking resolutions and actions. The meeting is scheduled to take place from 9 o'clock until 1 o'clock, although I know that straight after there is another meeting, the finance meeting, which Member Van Wyk will obviously be chairing, and a couple of us are also members of that. So hopefully we can finish a little bit before 1 at least. I'm sure that is a very realistic possibility. Mr. Coetzee, I just want to find out firstly from your side, do we have any apologies for today's meeting?
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members and officials. Chair, the only apology I received was from Minister Bredel's office. He will unfortunately not be able to join us. And Chair, just one small correction for in case the department gets a bit worried now. It is the second quarterly performance reports, not the first. I think that could be a typo on your notes.
Oh, did I say the first?
Yeah.
Sorry, I meant the
just
second.
for in case they're getting worried. But
my apologies.
On the second quarter.
Sorry about that. My apologies. But too early in the morning. I need my second cup of coffee. Thank you for the correction, Mr. Coetzee. July to September. Yes, correct. Okay. So can we then just confirm we are quorate by going through all of the members who are present online. Just to avoid talking over each other, I'm going to mention your name, and if you can just state that you are present. Firstly, Member Constable.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, colleagues. Yes, I'm present, Chair.
Member Van Wyk.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, all members. I'm present.
Member Wessels.
Good morning, Chair. I'm present.
Member Murray.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, everybody. I'm present.
Member Stoffel.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, everybody. I'm present, Chair.
And Member Masipa.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, colleagues. I am present. Thank you.
Fantastic. So it looks like we have a full house, which is always a good thing. Colleagues, if we can then move on to the first item on the agenda, which is going to be the presentation on the quarterly performance from the Department of Environmental Affairs and Development Planning and Cape Nature. I am going to allow Environmental Affairs to start. We'll then follow with Cape Nature after that. Then we will take some questions on those presentations. And after that, those members of the departments and entity will be able to leave, and we will then move on to the local government presentation, followed by questions. So I have noted that Minister Bredel is not able to join us for today's meeting. So I am then going to hand over straight to the HOD for Environment, Mr. Gerber, to introduce the presentation, after which we can then take it and engage with it. Thank you. Mr. Gerber, over to you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honourable members, and to the other colleagues. Thank you for the opportunity to today present to you a briefly on our Q2 performance for the July, August, September period. We've put together a PowerPoint presentation that will go through. It's 29 slides, but we'll keep it short. There's specific things that we will highlight in terms of the Q2 financial and the non-financial performance. So with that, those very few short words, I want to then ask Azad to flight the presentation and to start presenting. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Chairperson, morning members, morning colleagues. Thank you very much. Chair, are you able to see my presentation?
We can see the presentation and we can hear you. There we go, full screen. That's perfect.
Thank you very much. Chair, just before I begin, this presentation will be shared between myself and my colleague Hamida Bagas from Finance, as it will incorporate some financial slides as well. Thank you. So I'm presenting the second quarter's departmental performance for 25-26. So in terms of the programs of the department, we have 7 programs as listed. The first slide is just your overall performance for the quarter. So in terms of the programs 1 to 7, we have achieved 11 out of our 12 targets, which amounted to 92%, and 1 that was partially achieved that also equated to 8%. Chair, I'm going to now hand over to Hamida, and then I will take it from there again once she's completed with the financial part. Thank you.
Shukran Azad, and good morning, Chair, and everyone on the platform this morning. Hope all is well. So the presentation will showcase the financial performance for the second quarter. So the budget for vote 9, which totals 669 million, is split almost evenly between the department and the entity, which is Cape Nature. By the end of the second quarter, expenditure reached 47%, which aligns actually closely with the linear progression of the financial year. Azad, if you can go over, please, to the next slide. So transfers to Cape Nature accounted for 50% of Cape Nature's allocation as at the 30th of September. If we delve into the economic classifications, which is our compensation of employees, goods and services, transfers and subsidies, and payments for capital assets, compensation of employees reflects at mid-year spending 46.8%. And it estimates at this stage a underspending primarily due to vacancies that arose during the year and also delays in recruitment processes. And then a portion of that will also be used to reprioritize towards leave gratuity for officials who left the employ of the state. On goods and services, there is a spending of 27.4% of the goods and services allocation. And the projection, the estimated projection, is showing an overspending, which is linked to rollover commitments from the previous financial year and revenue retention. The transfers and subsidies, which excludes the transfer to Cape Nature, amounts to 1.4 million, and the payments in this category covers payments towards the biosphere reserves and officials who left the state employment, as well as a transfer that was made to a municipality for the RCEP program. With regards to payments for capital assets, is just over 3 million. And the overspending that is showcased is attributed to rollover commitments and procurement of computer equipment. And this is mainly for the Windows 11 compatibility. And then expenditure also still in this category also relates to the daily tariffs that is associated with GG vehicles. Azad, to the next slide, please. Shukran. Then just to expound on a program level, Program 1 spent 48.7% of its budget, and it's showing an estimated overspending due to foreign travel and Windows 11 upgrades. Program 2 is at 40.9% of its budget, and the slight overspending there relates to prior year grade progressions that was for 24-25 that was paid in 25-26. Then compliance and enforcement, which is our Program 3, spent 47.9 of its allocation as at the 30th of September, with the estimated overspending that is driven by the main cost driver within this program, and that is the legal fees. And there's also a rollover commitment that has been registered on this program. Environmental quality management, which is program 4, had quite a bit of staff that left the employ, and hence it reflects the underspending that is associated with vacant posts. Program 5, biodiversity, portrays also an estimated underspending, and that is due to the expenditure due to vacant posts within the program. While program 6, the expenditure is very slow on this program because of the projects that has been scheduled for the quarter 3 and quarter 4. There is a slight overspending, and that is due to the Wastepreneurs project rollover. And then program 7 is also showing a slight underspending, and that is also due to a staff member who left the employ of the state. So overall, as you can see, the underspending is there is an underspending on this program on this vote, and that is directly linked to the vacancies and recruitment delays. And then the department is also currently busy with adjustment estimates, and there is movements that has been identified within the COE and realignment of projects. But this is all subject still to legislative processes because the adjustment estimate will only be tabled still in this week. And that concludes the presentation. Thank you very much. Thanks, Azad.
Thank you, Hamida. Chair, just moving on with the rest of the presentation. So I'm mainly going to focus on the one indicator target that has been partially achieved. So just scrolling through program 1. Program 2, no plan targets. Program 3, all were achieved. And then program 4, we had 3 plan targets. 2 were achieved and 1 partially achieved. The 1 partially achieved is the percentage of environmental impact assessment non-applications timelessly responded to. So we achieved out of our target of 95%, 77% was achieved. And the reason for that underachievement is, or partial achievement is that not all the applications that were responded to timelessly. So it's 219 out of the 283 that amounted to 77%. Program 5, there were 2 targets and both were achieved. And then program 6, 2 out of 2. And then program 7 had 1 planned target and was also achieved. So Chair and members, this is the overall picture of the department for quarter 2. You'll see under program 4, 33%, which was the one that was partially achieved, but for the rest of the programs, we achieved 100%. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. If we can then move on to Cape Nature, Mr. Khaber, if that is all right.
Yes, thank you, Chair.
Good morning, Chair. Ashley Naidu, Cape Nature. Mr. Hardy will do our performance for the second quarter overview, and he will present, and he will take us through that. And once he's done, our CFO, Mohammed Bayat, will briefly comment on our expenditure status. Thank you, Ibrahim.
Thank you, CEO, and morning to the chairperson, and also morning to the members. I'm just going to try and put my presentation on presentation mode. I hope everybody can see it. Yes, no?
Yes, we can see it. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, just to get into the presentation, I think a good place to start is just to confirm that obviously the Cape Nature board is ultimately responsible for performance information, and there is a process where the board ultimately approves our performance information. We've also just include just the structure of the committee meetings and the quarterly board meetings, again, to just indicate during those meetings where the performance information is tabled and is approved by the board. And so prior to this meeting, there would have been meetings in November and October through the committee meetings and the board meetings where our performance was tabled, discussed, and through the CEO's report approved at those meetings. So just looking at a very high level, we're looking at, again, our presentation looks at both quarters 1 and 2, but we can zero in on the quarter 2 performance. So we've got 23 indicators. We had one indicator, which was indicator 1.1, which was achieved in quarter 2. And we've got 5 quarterly indicators, indicators 2.5, 3.3, 3.6, 4.4, and 4.5 for the quarterly targets that were achieved. We also have achieved 4 of the annual indicators, including 1.1, 1.2, 2.2, and 2.4. Also, we've got 7 new indicators for the period as well, for which we are setting baselines, and therefore we can't really see targets on the slide because there have no targets have been set, but we will just zero in on some of the achievements to date on those indicators. So we've got 4 indicators for program 1. Again, we well on track on achieving our annual indicators. Some of them have already been achieved, as I've noted. And we've got the one, the last indicator, which is a baseline indicator, which we have some progress to date. But again, we will be reporting at the end of the financial period or the reporting period on the full performance. And that would set us up for setting the target for 26-27. On program 2, in particular, we've achieved at least 2 of the indicators and 1 quarterly indicator. For the first indicator, number of hectares under the conservation estate, noting that we've got 0 to date, but there are a number of sites that are in process of declaration, and that will result in us achieving our target of 5. Looking at program 3, again, we are performing quite well in the program again, with 2 of our quarterly indicators, as we've indicated on the slide, have been achieved. Some of our baseline indicators that is also well on track. Maybe just to go back, our MET assessments are underway, and we will be reporting our outcomes in quarter 4 for that. In terms of quarter 4, program 4, sorry, again, we well on track on achieving these indicators. 2 quarterly indicators, targets have been achieved, and our baseline targets are in progress. And that's my presentation, Chair, and thank you for the opportunity and happy to field any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. If Mohammed, if you please comment on our status of our expenses to date. Thanks.
Thank you very much, CEO. Good morning, everybody. Yes, with regards to our expenditure, firstly on our income as an entity that generates income year to date, we are tracking above for own ecotourism income. We're tracking above expectations by around 7 million. So we hit 30 million at the end of quarter 2 versus a target of 23 million. On the expenditure side, we are tracking, we are at 93% of our spend for the year to date budget. We are slightly behind with our capital expenditure, but we do have plans in place and we're expecting to pick up on that spending towards the end of the year. So from a financial perspective, we're tracking where we should be as at the end of quarter 2. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair. That's our presentation from Cape Nature, and we're happy to take questions.
Thank you very much, Dr. Naidoo. All right, colleagues, I am then going to open up for questions on either of those two presentations. Please indicate if you have a question by raising your hand, and I will then take those. So the floor is open for questions. We have one hand so far of Member Beauty Stoffel. No other hands for now. Member Stoffel, please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Chair, am I audible so far?
You are audible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, let me first appreciate the presentation and the good work done by the department and also from Cape Nature. Chair, mine is only based on the programs, of which the program, I'm not sure which program, it's program 1, whereby we have these overspendings. I think it's 1 and 3 overspendings. We've got that. Office, I'm slightly covered, but although I think there was supposed to be a more explanation in detail. And then the other one is that in program 4, I think it's 5, 6, 7, they must correct me, whereby the issue of the vacancies have a huge impact on that programs. Now, I think with the last discussions, the department have also indicated about these vacancies, and we have decided as a committee to say the department should look into trying to fill the vacancies. And there were some challenges that has been mentioned by the department, and officially we have take cognition of the challenges. But as we have received, or I have received the presentation, I could see now the issue of vacancies is getting it worsened the programs in terms of whether they have mentioned it or not. Performance, they might perform good, but at the end of the day, we must acknowledge, although they perform good, that will put pressure on all the employees within the department, which means all the employees must do extra work now than their prescribed work because of that vacancies. So, Chair, I think the department should update us with the latest development in terms of filling that vacancies. And then my other one is also on the issue of I have made some notes. The underspend, the overspending. I know the underspending. There's a gratuity of employees that have left the state. Can they maybe expand on that? What is that gratuities? And I'm not sure whether, Chair, I can couple this with the questions of Cape Nature, or will you give us another turn to us on Cape Nature?
You can ask all your questions now.
Or can I ask all the questions? Okay. Chair, in terms of Cape Nature, I really appreciate the work. I have done it before, and I'm still sticking to my point. They are doing very good. I have requested the last time to say the department must maybe provide to us in terms of program 1, the numbers of employment opportunities. Remember, there was this EPWP that we we questioned, that I questioned, to say there was 450. Where's these opportunities? I didn't receive any information from the department, and I'm still on that question, Chair. So maybe the department can explain why they didn't send the communication, or maybe I missed it, they have sent it. And then also, in terms of program 3, the opportunities for job within the, I want to know, in terms of, is that opportunities for job connected to the latest SA stats? And in terms of our province itself, how many percentage of that job opportunities is being covered within the current percentage that we have in the province? I will pause for now there, Chair.
Thank you very much, Member Stoffel. I don't see any other hands for now, so I'm going to hand over then to HOD and Dr. Naidu for answers.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you, Member Stoffel, for those questions. Maybe to ask first to ask Johannes and Hamida to speak to the comment on the over expenditure, just maybe to expand in terms of the reasons for that, as per the comment by Member Stoffel. Thank you, Johannes. Hamida.
Thank you, HOD. Good morning, Chair and the members and the rest of the colleagues. As indicated by Hamida, the net over expenditure is mainly the result of the underspending on COE, but it also includes a rollover and the revenue retention that is a part thereof. The COE, as the member rightfully observed, is a challenge to the department. During this period, we had about 18 resignations, and not all of those, actually very few of those posts were filled, because there is a lag between when officials exit the department and those posts are being filled. So it is a challenge to the department, but it also provides us the opportunity, because over our MTEF, our COE is not sustainable. So we also use this opportunity then to request to Provincial Treasury, and then we will come through the adjustment estimate during the course of the week, but that to realign those underspending on COE and make it available over the MTEF period. And that help and assist the department to provide a more credible and sustainable COE budget for consideration. That is on the COE. Then the observation around the gratuities. So when officials exit the employment of the department, any leave that credits that they still had available to them, that we are obliged to pay out to those officials. We don't necessarily, when we budget for it, make provision for leave gratuities, because we don't know which officials will leave, when they will leave, and the number of days for leave that they will have available upon exit. So we then, through this process, we will then use some of the underspending on COE, and it's allowed in terms of the legislation to make good the expenditure for gratuity. So the gratuity, as we indicated, is in respect of leave payouts for those officials that exited the employee of the department. Thank you, CEO. Gerard.
Thank you, Johannes. Just in terms of the recruitment processes, the other matter that has emerged for South Africa is the job evaluation. So we, for a number of years, the national department, there were issues with the procurement of the job evaluation system. So we were doing benchmarking in South Africa, but we now have a new job evaluation system, and now again, it's a requirement for the non-OSD post for the job evaluations to be done before we're able to advertise those vacant funded posts. So that is an issue across the country now, that because of the not having that system, there are a number of job evaluations that must now be done. We're working closely with the Department of the Premier, the OD organizational development team that undertakes the job evaluations with us in terms of managing those. Generally, the latest information is that it would take a month, 1 month, to do a job evaluation. So that is an additional step that is now required that we are undertaking, but we are tracking the filling of the post. And yes, we have battled that for certain posts. We are battling to attract candidates, and even when we do shortlist candidates, there are many candidates that ultimately decline an interview, or they'll accept, and then on the day of the interview will then decline. But we are, and that causes delay. But we are tracking the filling of the post. The number of vacancies that we had, the 18, some of that was unexpected, that we, in a short period of time, had that number of vacancies. We're tracking the vacancy rate and what the turnover is, and if we benchmark it, and we're not too far out from what generally one would expect in terms of a turnover. But of course, when we have a number of people leaving at the same time, so it's also concentrated in terms of the 12 months. But we are busy managing that, and we are busy in the budgeting process with Treasury to also secure the cost compensation of employees over the MTEF, so that we don't have the situation we're currently battling to fill certain contract positions because we don't have the funding over the MTEF. But we are managing the compensation of employees very, very closely. Thank you.
Thanks very much. And Cape Nature?
Yes.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, members. Thank you, Member Stoffel, for the question. Chair, we will do two things. We will resend the Word document with the tables we've had on the current EPWP employments and which municipalities they fall in. And since our last question, we're now working on mapping that so that it's easy to see on that. What we're also looking at is to try and get the unemployment stats for the various municipalities and then put that onto the map as well. And hopefully we will have that in our, at the last meeting, we said we will include it in our annual report, but I think before then, at our next quarterly report, we will have those maps against the municipalities for EPWP. And also now we include, from today's question, the jobs created and in which municipalities those 500 to 700 jobs are created in addition to the EPWP stats that we provided on that. Chair, if you allow me, I can also ask Mr. Ismail to comment on where we are at the moment in mapping the jobs data. Thank you, Mr. Ismail.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, CEO. As the CEO indicated, that is an exercise we are currently busy with, just to understand what those unemployment rates are for those various municipal areas. And then we'll see how we can collate that information and then just put it in a more palatable way. And then another recommendation that I've made to the CEO is that once that data is ready, is perhaps for us to engage with the standing committee, maybe via a presentation. Then we can actually present the data and we can delve a bit deeper into how do we allocate the jobs, where it's advertised, how do we recruit, all of those things. So yeah, Chair, that is work in progress, but we are making good headway with it. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, CEO.
Thank you, Chair.
Thanks very much for those detailed responses. I think we've covered a couple of my follow-up questions that I was going to ask as well, so that's very handy. Colleagues, I don't see any other hands? Is there anybody who wants to ask another question of clarity, a follow-up question? Now is your opportunity to do so. Member Stoffel? All right, only Member Stoffel. Member Stoffel?
Thank you very much, Chairperson, and let me thank the department, the two, and also Cape Nature for the response. Chair, I just want to make a small anyana comment, if you can allow me to. It's just that when we are sitting in the committees and we try to work with the department in terms of requesting certain information, it's because of, not because we are trying to be fun. It's based on reasons for these engagements. So because if you don't receive the data that you have requested from the department, it makes it so difficult for us to engage and try to bring out some points that can maybe assist the department in terms of improving in certain areas, because they are not involved or direct involved in the local municipalities where we are been staying and seeing what is happening. So at some extent, we are trying also to feed the various departments with some information that they was maybe not aware of. So I think I for now I accept the explanation of the department, but I will wish the department will really speed up in providing that information for us so that we can have a proper discussion at a next time level. Thanks, Chair. That's the only thing.
Thank you, Member Stoffel, for those comments and observations. Member Marais, I see you've got your hand up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Chair, I'm going to be very brief. I want to thank the department for the information provided. And yes, as Honourable Stoffel has indicated, we're not here to criticize. We're here just to look at the information and then, of course, to give our inputs so that we can always achieve a better outcome in the future as we go along, because the environment is very important to all of us. And the only thing I wanted to ask, Chair, is about I noticed in Cape Nature's presentation, there was a struggle, if I could put it that way, in getting interns into the system. And I guess it speaks to really the space being a challenging space when it comes to the environment and getting persons that are interested, but also that are willing to perhaps accept what we are able to offer, what the department or Cape Nature is able to offer in terms of remuneration and so on. So I just wanted to know, in terms of the plan going forward, there was only 2 interns appointed in the second quarter. There were no interns in the first quarter that was taken in. If someone could just speak to that particular item for me, because obviously more needs to be done then in order to get, to get that target achieved. The unemployment is high out there, and I just wonder if enough is being done in order to really either fill the vacancies or fill these particular opportunities. And then I wanted to just say that in terms of the capital expenditure, they said that they are behind. I'm sure that those things are all in the pipeline, and that quarter 3 will be maybe some good news in terms of that, or is it only perhaps going to reflect in quarter 4 according to the future plan? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Member Marais. Mr. Gerber and Dr. Naidu, would you like to respond to the questions or the comments from Member Marais and Member Stoffel?
Yes, I think.
Go ahead.
Can I go ahead, Kera?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. I think just briefly for troubles, yes, we do appreciate the support, and we are going to get the data to you on both the EPWP and the jobs created in the support services in and around the reserve, so that you can take those forward in your other committees, and we certainly do appreciate the linkages made across the committees from that members serve on. On the second set of questions, I'm going to ask Mr. Barry Barnes just to talk to the technical description of the interns and the current employment of interns we have, and why we catch up that target at Q3 and Q4 after the university exams. So Mr. Barnes, I'll come to you in a minute, and after Mr. Barnes, Mr. Ismail, can I come to you just to talk about our work in progress on infrastructure projects, and also align that with the disaster funding projects, and how we had to plan and do some modifications to our plan, and where we will be in terms of commitments and expenses at end of Q3 and Q4. So thank you, Mr. Barnes, on the interns.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, CEO. Through you to Honourable Marais. Yeah, it's not a struggle per se. It's how we as an entity look at achieving, or how we have planned to achieve these targets. So we set a target of 15. Currently we're standing on 2. However, it is aligned to the educational institutions' timeframes. So obviously these students need to receive their results, etc., before they can be considered for internships. So our target is normally achieved at the end of Q3, which is round about now, where we get an influx of students applying with their results. And we do have some agreements with some of these educational institutions like CPUT, Nelson Mandela Bay, and we're also planning on next year putting out a call for students externally, not externally, but as a part from CPUT and Nelson Mandela Bay, students within the area that we cover within the Western Cape. Just on the figures for last year, our target was 15 and we achieved 22. So yeah, we normally hit those targets towards the end of Q3, beginning of Q4. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you for that, Mr. Barnes. And those interns we attracted in Q2 and Q3 at end of last financial year remain with us currently. So we do have existing interns that will end at this year when the new intake after the university exams complete, and then we take in a fresh intake of interns.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Barnes. Mr. Ismail, on the infrastructure. Thank you.
Thank you, CEO. Thank you, Chair. Cape Nature was blessed. I'd say we were blessed with a 183 million rand application that was done via the disaster management application process. And obviously when we received that money, there was a lot of work that need to go into the planning around it. We've managed to get the Department of Infrastructure to be the implementing partner, but all the legwork on the groundwork needed to be managed and facilitated by Cape Nature. Obviously, with the APP stuff, we had planned projects, and some of those projects now were absorbed into the disaster management application process. So we needed to do a workaround of our earmarked allocation. But we do have a catch-up plan, and most of that funding will be spent due and committed during Q3 and Q4. So there is a catch-up plan. Various processes are underway. We've got service providers on the ground, busy with implementing projects, and hopefully by the end of Q4, we'll have the money spent. If not fully spent, that will be committed to infrastructure projects. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Ismail, and thank you, Chair. Just on the note of the 183 million allocation to roads and infrastructure damage in the 22-23 floods, we certainly appreciate the allocation. It was part of a bigger allocation to the province, and we work very closely with the Department of Infrastructure, Provincial Department, who are assisting us in implementing those projects. It did come with a little bit of fine print that that money has to be spent or committed in the 12 months after we received it, which is this financial year. So it did stretch us a little bit between ourselves and the Department of Infrastructure, but we do have those plans in place and projects have been set up and the specs have been designed, and we will commit those funds by the end of the financial year. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Dr. Naidu. Colleagues, I don't see any other hands at present. So I suppose Mr. Kaba and Dr. Naidu, you've got up a bit easy today. It doesn't seem like there is a heck of a lot of engagement apart from those two very informative points that were raised by Member Stoffel and Member Marais. So what we're going to do then is take a very brief break so Mr. Kunsia can get in contact with the Department of Local Government to ensure that they are able to join us a little bit earlier. So colleagues, if we can then please just take what would be your coffee break from now until 10 o'clock. And at 10 o'clock, we will then reconvene, hopefully with the other department present. The Department of the Environment and Cape Nature, you are now free to leave the meeting. Thank you so much. We will see everybody. We will see everybody at 10 a.m.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Chair.
I can hear, Chairperson.
Okay, no, that's great. Sorry, an update just installed. We all know about that. And my camera doesn't seem to be working. So the microphone at least is working, which is the most important thing. I'll probably have to restart at some stage, but as long as you can hear me, that's the most important part. Thank you so much to the officials from local government who have joined us earlier than anticipated, and in particular to the HOD, Mr. Paulser. I am going to then go straight into it. I'm sure everybody's had a coffee and they're feeling energized and ready to go. So, Mr. Paulser, over to you and your team for your presentation, after which we will then take inputs and questions.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, honourable members and Chairperson. Thank you very much for this opportunity. This is second quarter performance ending at September 2025. They have a presentation, and I've asked both Albert and the CFO to take us through the presentations. Chairperson, you will notice that one indicator was partially achieved, given the fact that that's demand-driven. It's about the CPWP job opportunities, and obviously there was like an indicator that was not achieved, and we can provide more detail as we present. But if it's in order, Chairperson, Honourable Chairperson, I can ask Albert to lead in the presentation. Thank you.
Thanks. Yes, that's in order. Go ahead.
Good morning, Chair and honourable members. Okay. I'm just trying to load it from my side. Okay. Standing committee. I hope that I'm showing the right presentation. Okay, this is new.
There, it's coming up.
It says PowerPoint Live working on.
We've got it.
That's it. This is a wrong one.
Traditional affairs and
Albert, I can share it.
Oh, please, Bob. Please, Bob. I don't know what's happening on my side. Let me unshare. How do I stop sharing? Mine also just updated, and it's giving me all sorts of things that I don't understand now.
Yeah. So maybe just stop sharing completely, and then maybe someone else can share it.
Yes. But this is environmental affairs.
Oh, there we go. There we go. That
no, this is.
Now.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay.
That's our report.
Perfect. Great.
Okay. Thank you very much. Can you make it bigger? Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. If we can skip this slide. Yes, that's a summary slide. Thank you on that summary slide. Thank you. Okay. As HOT has indicated, in the first quarter, in the second quarter, we're actually dealing with the second quarter. That detail is just a quick summary of what is coming. Is that in the department, we've got a total of 65 indicators that we have to report on for the year. 16 of those indicators are performance indicators, sector performance indicators. These are indicators which are done at a national level. 20 indicators were due for reporting in the second quarter. As HOT has indicated, we met 18 indicators which were fully achieved, And then one indicator was partially achieved, which we will explain in the presentation. That one indicator, as HOT has indicated, is the Community Works program, where basically it is a national indicator, where as the department we're providing that oversight, the appointment of the participants and the payment of participants is done at national level. Now, if I can just indicate right from the beginning that this indicator at the present moment, National has indicated that the departments must put a hold on the recruitment of participants. There is a review which is currently taking place in terms of the policy relating to CWP. Another indicator you'll find in Program 3, which is disaster management. It's basically on fire life emergency training, where there's about 3 trainings that are supposed to take place for the year. And what has happened now is that we actually had to procure a service provider to do the training. In the process of procuring those service providers, we discovered that there were certain things that were not meeting. So we just had a little bit of a delay on that one. If you can shift to the next. Okay, these ones is basically 2 indicators. They talk to program 1 indicator, to program 1, where in program 1, it's about the quarterly reports, it's about the finances that we doing, the financial reports. So basically those 2 indicators are just administrative driven. If we can move to the next one. Next slide. This one is under municipal governance, where the indicator is number of legislation development initiatives implemented. During the quarter, you'll notice, I'll focus on the last three columns, which is second quarter planned target, and the quarter output, and then the comments and progress. So basically, in that quarter, there was no target that we intended. However, there was something that we reported on. It's basically bylaws and also the comments that we did on various legislations. You'll see the detailed bylaws basically for Cederberg, Langeberg, and Prince Albert Municipality, Swartland, and Galdenrod. It's basically different bylaws that we had to provide support on. And then we did the comments where we had a review of the white paper. I think HOD may talk about it at a later stage, that as a province we're given an opportunity to host a seminar on the review of the white paper on local government. And then there's also a Western Cape monitoring and support of municipalities amendment bill that came through. Next one. Okay, this one is a, okay, go back. Okay, just go back. This one is about basically the appointments. Okay. You jumped to, yes, please. Okay. This one is about the assessments of the senior management appointments. The target normally we do it for the year there. And each time this is one of those demand-driven indicators because we basically respond based on the appointments that are done at municipalities. For the quarter, there were 10. And it's basically for those different municipalities, as you can see there for Matsigama, all those different positions that are there. I will not go through everything, but we've done for Matsigama 3, we've done Prince Albert Municipality, for Dieverskloof, we've done 2, Beaufort West, City of Cape Town, Swellendam, and Swartland. If we can shift to the next one. Next slide. This one talks to a number of assessments on municipal public accounts committees. This is basically where we have an official that attends the municipal public accounts committees, and then they actually do an assessment there. You will recall, Chair, when we reported in the previous quarter, the target for each quarter was 2. In the previous quarter, we actually reported 1, and we indicated that there has been a shift of that 1 to the following quarter, and therefore we've planned it to be, we achieved that 3. And those public accounts committees which we assessed were basically in Mossel Bay, Drakenstein, and Overberg. The other one is around the code of conduct cases assessed to ensure legislative compliance. There's one code of conduct that was assessed basically for West Coast District Municipality. Number of legal support initiatives provided to municipalities to strengthen municipal governance. First, we had a colloquium, as I've indicated previously, which is the review of the white paper on local government. And then in Diepverdeskloof municipality, we've done a roles and responsibilities workshop for councillors. And then we had the speakers forum, basically where we did support them, municipalities in terms of the appointment of senior managers. Kanaland municipality, we did roles and responsibilities for councillors. Next slide, please. This one is basically quarterly reports that we produce in respect of the assessments or investigations on allegations of maladministration, fraud, corruption, and any other serious malpractices in municipalities. For this quarter, it's a quarterly report that we do. So basically it talks to investigations that we've done in Central Karoo and in Beaufort West Municipality. Next next slide, thank you. This one is around public participation, which is program 2. It talks about number of support actions to improve and promote citizen interface and empowerment. For the quarter, we had a target of 1 and we have achieved 2. So we basically supported 24 municipalities with the development and review of what committee operational plans. And the second of those actions was basically civic education on public participation, which was done in Oudtshoorn, Knysna, and Hesekwa municipality. Number of support actions to improve gender mainstreaming and human rights in municipalities. The target was 2. We have achieved that 2. That we've done 1 in Overberg District Municipality, where we've done a workshop on gender mainstreaming, basically focusing on the National Strategic Plan on Gender-Based Violence. The second one was in Matsikama Municipality, where we've done something on gender policy and gender action plan capacity building workshop with the municipality. So basically it's to support or to strengthen the capacity of the officials within the municipality to be able to deal with gender mainstreaming issues. Number of municipalities supported to maintain functional ward committees. The target for the year is actually 10, and we've achieved 21. That is for the quarter. Now, this indicator is actually linked to the first indicator, Chair, which I was talking about, the first indicator, which talks about number of support actions to improve and promote citizen interface. So the municipalities where we've done that civic education, and including the municipalities that we supported with the review of the ward operational plans, those are the municipalities that we're talking about in that particular indicator. Next, it is a sector performance indicator, which is a national indicator, Chair. The next indicator talked to number of municipalities supported to promote participation in community-based local government processes. This is also a national indicator. For the quarter, we didn't have a target. However, in terms of civic education, you will notice that we have done that for Oudtshoorn, Knysna, and Hesekwa municipalities. So those basically the indicators that we're talking to. This indicator, Chair, as I've indicated earlier, SPI 6, which is number of work opportunities reported through Community Works Program. Now, as I've indicated that we've underachieved on this particular indicator, the target was 15,500. We've achieved about just over 13,000. At the present moment, basically, there is an indication, as I've said, that there will be a policy that is updated, and therefore sites at this particular stage are not recruiting new participants in the province. The next one is number of municipalities supported with communications program. This is also a national indicator. 5 municipalities were supported with winter readiness. That is Naisna, Matsigama, Beaufort West, Saldanha and Cederberg municipalities. Next slide. Okay, this is also a sector performance indicator, Chair. It says number of municipalities guided to comply with the MPRA. For the quarter, we due to support 25 municipalities, and indeed 25 municipalities were supported. That is basically through our MPRA focus groups, where we begin to focus on number of workshops that we've done, and then we also have an MPRA help desk, and it also includes work that has been done to assist municipalities with the evaluation appeal board's appointment. The other one, the next one, is number of municipalities supported to institutionalize the performance management system. This is also a national indicator, Chair, where the target was 2, and indeed we achieved 2. This we've done in collaboration with SALGA, where we supported Mossel Bay and Theewaterskloof municipalities to institutionalize the performance management system within their municipalities. The next slide. This is around performance monitoring and reporting. So this one, basically, it relates to our function when it comes to monitoring as the department, where a number of reports providing insight into municipal status and functioning. It is a status of municipalities report for the period of June to September we've done. The next indicator, municipal governance of ICT policy framework. The ICT policy framework, we've supported the municipalities with that. And then the next one is number of ICT support and capacity building initiatives implemented in municipalities. The target for the quarter there was 1, and we did achieve 1, which is basically we've done a workshop with Cederberg municipality on the development of smart cities strategy. And then we've done municipal governance, ICT policy, customization workshop that we conducted for Matsigama, Cape Winelands District, and Back River and Swartland municipalities. The next one speaks to intergovernmental arrangement and collaborative initiatives. Basically, that's also around ICT as well, where we had the intergovernmental engagements and collaboration, basically initiatives, which include the Western Cape Municipal ICT Managers Forum that we've supported, where there has been participation in various other, ICT-related initiatives, basically for municipalities. The last one is a sector performance indicator, which speaks to number of municipalities monitored on the implementation of indigent policies. We've done an assessment of the reports, basically in terms of the implementation of the indigent policies, basically for Birede River, and Naisna municipality, Hesekwa, Matsigama, and Swellendam municipalities. The next one, this is under disaster management, Chair, where the indicator is about facilitating and enhanced capacity building partnerships around disaster management. The target for the quarter was 2, and we achieved 2, 1 being the heads of Center Forum meeting. So it's a regular engagement where the heads of centers come and meet, and we have that particular engagement. And then we have the Western Cape Provincial Disaster Management Advisory Forum. So that basically speaks to those 2. Monitor and evaluate the implementation of the Disaster Management Act. You'll also see, Chair, that there was no target for the quarter. However, we've achieved something, hence we are reporting, where it's basically the 24-25 Western Cape Disaster Management Report. that it's on its route and it has been finalized. The other one talks to support organs of state to ensure disaster readiness and response. The target was 1 for the quarter, and we've achieved 1, and that is the summer readiness plan that was done and submitted. Number of training programs. This is where, Chair, the number of programs to improve fire and life safety. This is where, Chair, I have, okay, this one, Chair, is not one of those. We've just overachieved on this one, but this is a different one. However, the one that we said we underachieved, it should be on the next slide. It's this one, Chair. Number of training programs to improve emergency special capacity. In the province, the target was 1. So there has been that delay in the procurement processes. But Chair, if you ask me, I'll say at the present moment, we are comfortable with that one, that it will be achieved. It's just that there's been that delay. However, the service provider will be doing the training for the emergency personnel. The last one is a number of municipalities supported to maintain functional disaster management centers. It basically talks to the reports where we see the functionality of various centers within the province, and those centers basically in the districts, including the city of Cape Town, that we have achieved. Next, it should be the last slide, Chair. Okay, this one is around support that we're providing relating to IDP. The target there was actually to have the support plans that we've developed. And we've got about 5 support plans which have been reviewed within the province. The skills audit, okay, that one we're not supposed to report on, but I'm sure there is just an assessment that has been done in terms of the training needs. Hence it has been, it has found its way into this presentation. And the last one is about the IDP assessments, where we assess the IDPs of all municipalities. So 30 IDPs were assessed, and feedback was provided to municipalities. I think with that one, it should be the last one, Chair. Just check the slide. Okay, the next one I'll give over to Bhavna in terms of the finances. Thank you very much. Bhavna.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. I'll take you through the expenditure. So as at the 30th of September, holistically for the department, we were at 31% spent. Admin, which is program 1, was at 45 or just under. Local governance at 41, development planning, which is program 3 at 17, and traditional institution management, which was 17. This is just a graphical representation of the first slide, together with the economic classifications. Program 1, corporate services at 45. Program 2, these are now directorate levels. Municipal admin is at 42, public participation at 44, capacity development 40, municipal performance monitoring and evaluation at 16, service delivery integration at 36, and the CDW program at 53%. Program 3, municipal infrastructure, is at 7.4, disaster management at 32, and IDP at 35. And then traditional institutional administration at 17. So the economic classification of it, on COE, we're at 45, goods and services at 15, provinces at 4, public corporations and private enterprises at 50, and then machinery and equipment at 154%. Financial transactions, that's assets and liabilities, at 46%. And that takes us to the end of the expenditure, Chair.
All right. Is that it then?
Yes, Chair.
Okay, fantastic. Colleagues, I am now going to open up for questions on local government and disaster risk management, etc. Is there anybody who would like to raise their hand and ask any questions with regards to any of the issues that were raised? Right, I don't see any hands. I suppose just from my side, the first one for me, I think is very pressing. I do think a lot of the issues have been covered. Maybe just to Mr. Diner, just to put our minds at ease in terms of the disaster risk management and the preparedness for the fire season. Could you maybe just, whilst we have you here, just expand a little bit on some of the plans that are in place to ensure that we are ready and prepared? I know there was some mention already made in the previous sets of presentations around additional staffing and training to prevent fires and fire line management. So maybe just in terms of that, I do also see Member Beauty Stoffel has her hand up. Member Stoffel.
Thank you, Chairperson. Am I still audible, Chair?
You are exceptionally audible.
Thank you very much, Chair. Let me appreciate the presentation and also the input from the HOD. Chair, my question, there was some connection problem, so I have missed some presentation, but I will try my best, and I hope the committee, the department will also assist me in terms of my point of references. Chair, I have looked on in terms of the indicators of this, the performance of the indicators. It shows a lot of improvement and also a lot of work being done in terms of the indicators. But the one that I wanted to concentrate on is in terms of the code of conduct. I have seen there in terms of the programs being mentioned. When it comes to code of conduct, there's one case. And then I will couple that with the monitoring and support. I want to know, in terms of the progress of that case, how far are we in standing of the progress and the finalization of that one case? And then the other one is in terms of the investigation and maladministration. Now, there might be a view that will come maybe from the department to say, but that will reflect on the next quarterly report. But to me, the allegation or whatever is being done within, it started from the first quarter, second quarter, and till now. The issue of Swellendam. The issue of Swellendam municipality. The allegations of Swellendam municipality have started long time ago. The forensics report of Swellendam was there before, and not a single time within our reporting from the department, Swellendam, there's an indication from or attempt from the department to go and investigate what is really happening in Swellendam. So maybe the department can maybe give us more around the issue, because that issue is now trending, and it's not a good reflection on the department itself, because it looks like we are ignorant now on the matter, whilst the matter is a serious matter and serious things is getting out there, and we are quiet. And as part of this committee, I can't be quiet about it. Then in terms of the community work program, I hear what the presenter have said about it, and as much as they are telling us now today it's an issue from national department, but I think there is municipalities that is making use of this program, and I'm just wondering how did they manage to get it implemented whilst there is this challenge. So maybe there it could give us a more expanded explanation for my understanding. And then, Chair, in terms of the MPRA focus group, I want to know who is that municipalities, because there's no indication what municipalities is benefiting from that program. I don't know, Chair, if I can carry on, or can I just pause?
It's up to you how you want to ask your questions, Member Stoffel. If you want to carry on, you can ask more.
Okay.
If you want to wait for responses and ask for another round, you're also welcome to do that.
Yeah, because I don't want to ask too much, because I want to follow my questions in terms of answering from the department. So I will pause now. Thank you,
Okay.
Chair.
Absolutely fine. We'll move on to Member Masipa, and then we'll take some answers.
Chairperson, thank you very much. I must also just express appreciation for the report from the department. We really welcome it. Chairperson, I am really raising my hand primarily on a point of maybe advice from yourself. In terms of the department reporting to us, obviously they're giving us a quarterly report on the performance of the department for the quarter two. So I think I just want to really, from a procedural point of view, should we maybe confine ourselves on the report for quarter two, or should we also, go out of the quarter two report? And I think really I do understand that we do pick up issues as members of parliament. But we do have opportunities to also, write to ministers in terms of written questions to establish if these allegations are true, because many things are written about us as members of parliament and as department and so forth. But we definitely need to
Member
make
Masipa, just in terms of that, and you've just asked for my advice. So I mean, I was actually, before we handed over to the officials, I was going to mention to them in particular the question around Swellen Dam. Certainly not something that's pertinent to this presentation. I did allow Member Stoffel to make her point because she is obviously entitled to as a full member of the committee, but there is no obligation on any of the officials to respond to that in this meeting, as this doesn't really concern that particular item. But I do think your suggestion certainly to Member Stoffel, if she feels this is an important matter, she should then certainly take the opportunity to write to the minister and see if it is something that she would like to escalate. So she's obviously more than entitled to do so. But back to you, Member Masipa. Yes, we are certainly dealing with this report and the presentations that we received today. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I am absolutely covered, Chair, but really last from my side, really thanks to the department for all the work that they are doing, ensuring that they provide us with proper reports. Thanks.
That's marvelous. Member Maria, I see you've got your hand up there if you want to ask a question. I don't know if you've got an extensive question or if it's just one short question, just so we can fit them in.
Yeah, Chairperson, I only have a short question. It's not going to be long. I just wanted to ask in terms of the assessment of senior management appointments, when the department does do that particular assessment, whether they only look at the technical side of those appointments, or do they also look at the potential political affiliations involved in those appointments? I just wanted to know the framework in terms of those assessments that's being done. And then, Chairperson, if you allow me, the effectiveness of the support being given to municipalities. Do the department, can they give us anything to show that they have had success just in terms of their improving perhaps the collection? I think municipalities are expected to collect 85% minimum of the income, but there are many municipalities that are at 64% and below. Whether there's any record also being kept of any improvements in municipalities in terms of the collection of their income. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Over to you, HOD Paulse and your team. I don't know how you would like to go about answering these questions, but it is obviously up to you.
Chairperson, thank you very much. I want to ask perhaps Sandra and perhaps in Nazuko, Colin will come in relation to the fires. And then perhaps again, Sandra, if it's not answered, Chairperson, then I will cover the remaining responses to the questions. Sandra?
So good morning, Chair and members. I've just asked Kimmel to just respond to the two questions in terms of the code of conduct, as well as the assessment of senior managers, and then I'll come in actually.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, just with regard to the question pertaining to the code of conduct, and that was by the honourable member with regard to the progress of that matter. The matter has been finalised. It was a decision that the minister made with regard to the removal of the councillor. He missed 3 consecutive portfolio committee meetings, and the code of conduct is quite clear on that. So the minister exercised these powers in terms of item 16.7 and did remove the councillor at West Coast District Municipality. In relation to the question of the senior management appointment, the assessment is conducted. It's an extensive assessment that is conducted in terms of the regulations, and there is a set of prerequisites that the team looks at when they're conducting that due diligence. When it comes to political affiliation, there is obviously express legislative provisions relating to the fact that senior managers can't have any executive seating in any political party. Thank you, Chair.
So thank you, Chair. In terms of, let me start with the last one, effectiveness of support. Obviously, the support that we focus on is governance and service delivery. We are aware that Provincial Treasury, who focuses on revenue collection, has got specific support that they provide to municipalities, and we could possibly get more information for the member on that and how things are going around that. Then in terms of the MPRA focus group, Member Stoffels, all our municipalities are involved in the MPRA focus group. All of them are invited to the biannual meetings, 25 of them, because obviously districts are not involved in the MPRA. And then in terms of the investigation, Swellendam, that has been handed over to the SIU. Thanks, HOD.
Perhaps Nazuko and then Colin, then I will make a couple of remarks on it.
Good morning, Honourable Chair and Honourable Members. Nazuko Zamtaka. I have a challenge with my computer, so I'm joining on Sandra's computer. In relation to the community work program, the HOD and Mr. Dlwengu, they explained initially the community work program is a national program. It's managed by the Department of Cooperative Governance. They have their own implementing agents in each province. So in the case of the Western Cape, they have their own implementing agent. They are responsible for the recruitment of the participant. So each local municipality is allocated by COCTA through their implementing agent a number of participants that then the municipality working with the implementing agent identify what is the useful work that those participants will do. So the Honorable Member Stoffel is correct that the program is being implemented in the various municipalities. The only difference is COCTA has done two things in the financial year that we've started. One, late last year, they indicated that they are in the process of reviewing their policy around the community work program. And as part of that, the members would have seen in the media late last year and beginning of this year, a number of statements that the national minister made. One of those was participants that were between 55 and 60 had to exit the program. Subsequently, that was changed and it only became participants from 60 years and above that must exit the program. So as part of COCTA's decision that they are reviewing the policy and they are trying to look at the CWP a bit differently on what it must achieve, they've put a moratorium on further recruitment of participants. Remember now the participants are recruited by the implementing agent of COCTA. So they have also given indication to each province that we are not supposed to have additional members now that will be brought into the program. So that's the one part. But the existing number of participants, they continue to work in the program. Once you turn 60, then your position or your space is not filled. So the member is correct, Member Stoffel is correct that the CWP continues to be implemented in municipalities, but the difference is the number of participants is they are beginning to reduce. So that's all it is about. So one, the number also, because of their budget, they've also slashed the numbers that they've allocated to Western Cape. And then the last thing, why the numbers are also decreasing, we've explained to the committee before that because the CWP is provides a safety net. It provides for 2 days a week and 8 days per month opportunities. And so when there are other opportunities, for instance, in farms, which are paying much more than the stipend that the CWP is paying, but also providing much more number of days of opportunities for work, then the participants exit the program and they go and take those other short-term opportunities. And that's why sometimes we are not able to get the numbers. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Good morning, Honourable Chair and Honourable Members. So I'm just going to give a quick update on what the planning for the wildfire season is. So the major concern that we have right now is the fact that we have had already a very busy start to the season. It started quite early. It was not entirely unexpected, and the reason for that is that we identified the two very high rainfall seasons of the two preceding years. We felt that, or the indications were that we might have a very busy season last year, but we tended to manage that, although we had a high volume of fires. What was the main factor for the fact that this season we believe is going to be an extremely busy season is the lower rainfall that we've had in quite a large number of areas. The planning has been completed. We've completed our updated risk assessment for the province, and our risk register has been completed. Fires, obviously, with floods, the two highest risks. We do have, in terms of preparation on ground resources, 1,550 firefighters, professional firefighters across the province in the different municipalities. That gets augmented over the wildfire season with 1,020 additional, what we call seasonal firefighters who get contracted to work in that period. On top of that, there are 31 contracted fire teams that come in from organizations like Working on Fire and NCT. We have 23 aircraft, which consist of helicopters, fixed-wing aircraft and command and control aircraft. They're placed at 6 bases across the province. But because we have to land the bomber aircraft, the fixed wings, we have an additional 36 airfields so that we can do as quick a turnaround as we possibly can. With helicopters, we can pick up water anywhere where there is a water source, but with the fixed wings, we actually have to land and refill them. So we have increased the number of airfields to the extent that we can turn them around quite quick. The two major risks that we do have, which I think is really important, is the limited national support. So we do not have any military support. We generally request that, but over the last couple of years, that has been unavailable for various reasons. And secondly, there's not that much financial support for the Fire Protection Association. So on the disaster risk reduction side, there are definite challenges where the Fire Protection Associations normally get funding through the Working on Fire program. That's been curtailed quite substantially. Last year, we provided additional funding from the province to the FPA. So we've covered that base, we believe, for this season. But going forward, we think that will be a risk. But the planning is in place. We do expect a very busy season, specifically in the Southern Cape, which had a very low rainfall. We know we're going into a rainfall season there now. But that's the area that we're going to focus on quite heavily. Thank you, Chair. Thanks.
Honourable Chairperson, if I can maybe just sweep some of the responses or the answers. So just in relation to Swellendam municipalities, so Swellendam, you can remember there was the council change, and then there was allegations of fraud, corruption and maladministration in relation to supply chain. That council at the time appointed Vermaak. Vermaak has done an investigation. He provided a report, but the report was not complete. It was incomplete. And then subsequently the council changed, and then the council then requested that there should be a completion of the Vermaak investigation report. They've then appointed Nexus to complete the work into the allegations. That report has now been completed, and I think council is dealing with that at this point in time. I had discussions with the municipal manager when the report was released and all the media stuff was in the media. So there is an undertaking that we will get the report so that we can study the report ourselves. But based on my discussions with the municipal manager, well, as according to her, we want to assess it ourselves, is that all the officials in the municipality have been cleared from allegations of corruption and maladministration. But at the convenient time, Chairperson, we will most probably be able to provide feedback subsequent to ourselves having considered the content of the report. And then just on the collection rates. So on a monthly basis, the Provincial Treasury does get what we call the Section 71 report. And in that report, we get an indication of the collection rates in various municipalities. So that's on record. And where there's significant challenges, there is a form of intervention, not negative, but positive, where we support municipalities, and that takes a form of revenue enhancement initiatives. But also you will see in some municipalities where the financial sustainability is being questioned, particularly around revenue and expenditure and what they're able to collect. What we do then is we, with the National Treasury and the Provincial Treasury, develop what we call a financial recovery plan. And you can see in Theewaterskloof, Beaufort West and Kannaland, and that is all to improve the collection rates, Chairperson. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Do we have a second round of questions? Anybody else who wants to ask a follow-up? Member Stoffel, you can go ahead.
Thank you very much, Chair. And Chair, thank you very much for keep on protecting us on a continuous basis. Because I think, Member Masipa, you're doing very well in agriculture. Leave local government for us who understand it. Chair, I just want to know from the disaster management. I have listened very carefully in terms of the summer readiness plan disaster management. I just want to check with them. And I know within this plan, there is a lot of collaboration work with other departments and so forth. But I want to check with them in terms of the festive season, and when it comes to these informal settlements. Is there within the plan whereby they cover that areas? Because most of the time we are facing a lot of fires there, and then a lot of people is being stranded. So without any shelter, without any, and that cascaded to municipalities. And the last time the municipalities didn't have this rapid disaster teams in place, and now you struggle over the festive season within the local municipalities. I just wanted to check whether that collaboration is there, and how are they going to deal with that if there is maybe not a plan in place. How are we going to deal with that? Yes, I understood the last time they said municipalities have their own teams, but as far as my concern is, most of the municipalities don't have that teams in place. And what are we going to do? Because we are faced with the festive now. And then also in terms of the number of training programs to improve emergency, I'm referring to those kind of emergencies. What are we going to do in terms of that? Then in terms of the IDP being assessed and by municipalities is being informed, I think 30 of the municipalities. I want to know who's that 30 municipalities? And then also in terms of the public participation, 44% has been reached there. It's 44% been reached in what? When we talk about public participation, can we be more take through to say be more specific? What is this public participation that is been taken through there that makes that 44%? Thank you, Chair.
Thanks. We're going to have some answers.
Thank you, Chairperson. So I'm going to ask perhaps just Colin to respond to the initial question, and then Chairperson, with your acquiescence, perhaps Nazuka on the IDP and the public participation. Thank you.
Thank you, HOD. So we do have quite a comprehensive component of our summer readiness planning is dedicated to informal settlements. So where it's mostly the flooding problem in the winter and the summer is, as the Honourable Member said, is mostly fire issues. So we do work with our fire services. We've done an extensive capacity building program over the last, I would say, 14 years, where we have procured more than 125 trucks that have gone. So every single municipality in the province has benefited from that program. It still continues. What we have also done is we've created quite an extensive awareness program where we actually go into the informal settlement, and at this period our focus is mostly on fire and household safety. We also have our fire smoke alarm project. We work together with the University of Stellenbosch to identify the ideal fire smoke alarm that we can put into shacks. It was extensive research that was done. We have gone well over 20,000 smoke alarms, but it still continues that process. So what we do is we put smoke alarms in shacks. They will then pick up if people are asleep, and the fire starts in the shack, and then it will give people the opportunity to be able to get out of those. We don't have hard statistics, but in the areas where we have installed these alarms, we have to date not had any fatalities, so it seems to be working quite well. And then we also have, with the Department of Social Development, they've brought in a new system whereby they are able to activate any of the 5 contracted NGOs. Should we have fires in informal settlements, those NGOs will be able to respond quite quickly. And then we also have assistance from NGOs that we work with separately from that contract that we also able to bring in to provide humanitarian support if we have a situation where people are left homeless because of any of those incidents. In the event of a very large fire, if we do get requested, we will activate the Provincial Disaster Management Centre. We have a cluster system whereby we can bring in everybody from education, although it's going into holidays, but if we get to January and there's people whose school books have been damaged or who need assistance, also in terms of health, providing medication if that's been destroyed in a fire. So we have quite a comprehensive plan that we will put in place if required. Thank you, HOD.
Thanks, Colin. So Chairperson, just to add to Colin, so this afternoon we're having a meeting with all the HODs in the province, all the departments. And is the main purpose of the meeting is to sensitize.
Sorry, just remember, Masipa, your microphone's on. You just turn it off.
Just to sensitize the other heads of departments and departments about the summer readiness and what are the contingency plans, so that they are fully aware of how the possible fires will affect and impact on their portfolio, whether that's agriculture, education, health, or so on. So we have, for instance, where there's a fire in one of the municipalities, the Eskom poles burned down, the cables, and then it obviously would affect the school in terms of electricity supply, a clinic, and so on. So part of the overall summer readiness is to raise awareness to the other heads of departments and departments so that they can also get in place their own contingency planning in relation for the fire season. Thanks, Chair.
Honorable Chair, on the IDP, so annually, municipalities, in terms of the Systems Act, are required to review the IDP. And then they may also amend the IDPs. So in our case, when they then submit the IDPs to the MEC within 10 days of adoption, we then assess those IDPs and we look at issues of compliance that are stated in the legislation, but we also look at matters of alignment with the plans of the 3 spheres of government. So in this case, the QPR says 30 municipalities. So it's all our 24 local municipalities in the Western Cape, the metro, as well as the 5 district municipalities. So the question, which ones? It's all 30 municipalities in the Western Cape. The finance one, the 44% expenditure on public participation, I'll leave that one to the CFO as part of her financial report. Thank you, Chair.
Thanks very much. CFO. Sorry, I see you said you wanted to leave that up to the CFO as part of her report. Is the CFO going to make a comment on that?
So the check, CFO.
Sorry, Chair, I missed that. I'm having a sound problem.
No problem. Nozuko, would you be able to just repeat what you said so that Ms. Salwa Singh can hear again?
Thank you, Chair. The question, CFO, from Member Stoffel was she wanted to get a sense of the 44% expenditure on public participation. And so I responded to one question and indicated that the expenditure report is part of what you have provided. And perhaps you can then just give an indication of the 44% between the split between goods and services as well as projects. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks, Chair. So I don't have that on hand for the period ending September. If you give me a few minutes, I can probably try and pull the latest IRM figures to give you an indication of that, but that's the best that I could do at this stage.
Can I just request then, Ms. Salwa Singh, if instead you could maybe just ensure that that information gets sent to Mr. Kutsia so we can then distribute that on to members of the committee, in particular to Member Stoffel, who would have requested that,
Sure.
just so that we don't end up delaying the meeting. Thank you.
So you just want to clarify, Chair. So you're looking for the detail of the public participation, 44%, according to the economic classification as well as the projects.
Yes, as per Ms. Zamfaka, that would fall under you. So yes.
Thank
you.
Will do.
Thanks so much. Colleagues, do we have any other questions, points of clarity, comments on the reports? We have one more from Member Stoffel. Member Stoffel.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I think to the HOD that in terms of the assessment, because the previous presentation from the committee have indicated there were specific municipalities that they have done the assessment towards certain positions and appointments. And we didn't have received that information, maybe by our next committee meeting, because we are very much interested, or myself got an interest in the outcome of that assessment, individually so that they have indicated. So maybe by the next, or they can maybe send a communication to or the final report of the outcome of that assessment to us, so that we can familiarize ourselves with that. And then also, I really appreciated the answering from the department as much as from the disaster management. But what I wanted to put emphasis on when it comes to disaster management, I understand that there is teams in place, there is everything in place. But what currently happens is that in the rural areas, let's say here in our area, there's an area 45 km from the town, and it's 245 km from the district. And if there is a fire within that settlement, there's no fire station close to them. There's no unit, there's no nothing. And several sections have been burnt down there. And when the fire department arrived, there is already been damage done with that fire. And the system that they are informing us about, the alarms and that, maybe we should then get from the disaster management, where, in which areas is this alarms being put in the SECs, and the status of these alarms within the province. Where are they now, and how many SECs or areas has been covered by this? More detailed about this alarm, because where we are, there is no of this kind of information that we have received now. So maybe at a later stage, we have to receive a detailed to say in this municipality we have covered so much, in this municipality, so that we can have a clear, because currently now we are faced with this problem that I'm registering. And thank you to the HOD for the response of Swellendam. I really appreciate that, because it was quiet. I thought there's nothing been done about the situation, but you have indicated to us there is some intervention and try to get on top of that situation in Swellendam, because we don't want over the festive season where we have communities revolting against during this festive season. So thank you very much for this. Thanks, Chair.
Thanks very much. I see Mr. Paulser has his hand up, so I assume he's going to just respond quickly.
Yeah, just Honourable Chairperson, just a quick response to Honourable Stoffel's question. So I think firstly, we can definitely make all the detail available around the various projects in relation to the smoke alarm in the province, where we have originally piloted and how we've actually expanded throughout the province, and all the areas that we've covered and what's the approach behind it. And then, Honourable Chairperson, I can maybe ask, I mean, I assume that the Honourable Member Stoffel talks about the Kannaland area. If we can maybe have the detail around which areas it is, and then we can respond and look into it, Chairperson.
Thanks very much, Member Stoffel. Maybe if you can just send that through as well to Mr. Pulser so he can give you a detailed response. Ms. Selwa Singh has her hand up.
Thanks, Chair. I've got that detail. We managed to find it. If I can give it to you, or would you prefer that we send it through?
No, that's perfect. Please go ahead.
Okay. So on public participation, the COE is 45.7%. Goods and services currently sitting at 36% spent. And then the detail of that is on the operational budget of public participation is 46%. Know Your Ward Committee, they're currently busy with, so that's 0%. I know the order numbers have been issued for a lot of those interventions. And then on the citizen interface, they're at 45% spent. That brings them to a total of 44.1% spent overall on the budget.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. That's very, very helpful. All right, colleagues. Thank you very much to the representatives from the department, HOD, and your team. And thank you again for all of the incredibly hard work that's been undertaken this year. We know that you do have your work cut out for you in many instances, both from the local government and the disaster risk management side of things. But we are very confident in the work that is being done, and just a really big thank you from everybody on the committee. So with that, the department can be excused, and members, please remain so that we can go through the documents for approval and resolutions. I'll give the department members about 30 seconds just so they can quickly log off. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. Members, thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Looks like, yeah, we are back to just the members. Yep. Okay, that's good. All right, colleagues, we have minutes to be adopted, quite a large set of minutes from the 19th of August, 9th of September, 16th of September, 17th of September, 30th of September, 1st of August, 13th of August, 17th of August, and 3rd of November. I take it that members have gone through those minutes, but I do understand that one or two members have some minor amendments to make. So what I'm going to do then is go through each set of minutes. Please ensure that you raise any proposed amendments when we get to that set of minutes or corrections, so that we can then amend those accordingly and adopt them if need be. So the first set of minutes is from the 19th of August. I just want to find out, Mr. Kutsia, I don't know if you have those readily available, or members, if you are happy for us, in the interest of time, just to have a look at the minutes that you have already, which have already been circulated. And if there is a proposed amendment, then we can pull that particular minute up. So if we can then go to the first set of minutes, which is the 19th of August. Are there any proposed changes or amendments or corrections to that? If not, then can I please have a proposer and a seconder for the adoption of those minutes? We have Member Van Wyk who's proposing. I assume Member
Yes,
Van
I'm
Wyk?
proposing for
Okay.
19 August.
Thank you. And Member Masipa?
Second, Chair, thank you.
Thank you very much. If we can then move on to the next set of minutes, which is the 9th of September. If there are any proposed amendments or corrections, please raise your hand. Member Masipa, is that a legacy hand?
Apologies, Chair, it's legacy.
Okay. If there are no proposed amendments or corrections, then can I please ask for a proposer and a seconder?
I will propose there for 9 September.
Thank you, Member Van Wyk. Member Masipa, are you seconding?
I will second. Thank you.
Thank you, colleagues. Then we move on to the 16th of September. Are there any proposed corrections or amendments? If not, can I then have a proposer and a seconder? Proposer. Do we have a proposer for the adoption of those minutes?
I propose, Chair.
Member Masipa, thank you. Member Van Wyk, did I see you?
No, I didn't attend that meeting.
Yes, all right. Someone who did attend that meeting, Member Wessels, Member Stoffel, Member Murray.
I will second the chairperson for the adoption.
Thank you, Member Murray. If we can then move on to the 17th of September. Are there any proposed amendments or corrections?
Chair.
Yes.
Yeah, 17 September, it looks like, to me, it looks like we got a meeting plan. Seems to be attached there to the minutes that got sent out.
Mr. Kutsia, can you just pull up the minutes of the 17th of September on the screen? I'll just wait a second.
Let me have a look.
No, it's fine. It's important you do this right. So let's just wait.
Okay, let me just see. I think I've opened the wrong one, maybe. Yeah. 17 September. That was the public hearing ones, Chair. Let me just see where that one is. Okay, there I've got the minutes, Chair. Let me just. There we go, Chairperson.
Thanks very much. Member Van Wyk and colleagues, I'm just going to give you an opportunity. If we can just scroll down through that, Mr. Kutsia, just gently.
Yeah, I noticed what was circulated to us was the meeting plan. Yeah, so that seems to cover the attendance there. And yeah, Mr. Munro presented at that meeting. I think, as we recall, that was the fairly contentious meeting that we had.
That's correct, because I'm sorry, my apologies if I attached the wrong one, because there's quite a lot of M's in my documents.
Okay, so I'll propose those minutes.
Thank you very much, Member van Beek. Do we have a seconder?
A second.
Oh, we've got a couple of seconders. We'll take Member Wessels. Thank you, Member Wessels. Okay, then the 30th of September. Are there any proposed amendments or corrections? No, if not, then can we please move to proposer and seconder? Do we have a proposer? Member Masipa proposes. Do we have a seconder? Member Wessels. Thank you very much. Then we move to the 1st of October. Do we have any amendments or corrections to that set of minutes? 1st of October.
Chair, the
Member
one thing
van
that
Beek.
I think Mr. Rebel attended that meeting. You know, I didn't see him as part of the list of the attendees, but I think otherwise it seemed to be fine to me. Because both Mr. Munro
Yes.
and Rebel were present.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Mr. Kutsi, if we can just add that, that Mr. Rebel was also present.
Correct, Chair. I will do that amendment.
Thank you. And then with that addition, do we have a proposer and a seconder?
I will propose that.
Thank you very much, Member van Beek. Do we have a seconder? Member Marais. Thank you very much. All right, colleagues, if we can then move, we are almost there. We got 3 more sets of minutes to go. The 13th of October, are there any proposed corrections or amendments?
Chair,
Member van Beek.
I think Member Peter Johnson seems to be shown there, but I in fact attended that meeting on the 13th of October.
We'll do the correction, Chair.
Thank you very much. With that correction, to replace Member Johnson's name with Member van Beek's name, do we have a proposer and a seconder?
I'll propose.
Thank you very much. And Member Masipa to second. Then the 17th of October, any proposed amendments or corrections? No. Do we have a proposed? Yeah, Member van Beek?
Yeah, to me, I think that one was correct.
Good.
So
Okay.
I'll propose.
So you propose. That's great. Do we have a seconder? Member Masipa, thank you. And then finally, the 3rd of November. Any proposed? Yes, Member van Beek?
Yeah, there, I think I noticed that Member Johnson's name was also in as attending. And I think my recollection is that I attended that one as well.
Well, correct, Chairperson.
Thank you. Noted. With that correction, then, do we have a proposer? Member van Beek, can you propose that?
Then we'll propose, yes.
Yes, thank you. And do we have a seconder? Seconder, please. Someone to second those minutes.
Second it, Chair.
Thank you, Member Masipa. Thank you very much. Okay. Then, if we can move to the report and the deliberation, the annual report for local government, which took place on the 13th of October. That has been circulated, and I take it as read. Are there any proposed amendments or corrections to that report? Got a thumbs up from Member van Beek. So do we then have a proposer? Member van Beek, take you as the proposer if possible, and a seconder. Member Constable. Thank you, Member Constable. Then the report and our deliberation on the annual report for environmental affairs, development planning and Cape Nature, which was on the 17th of October. Again, I take that as read. Do we have any amendments or corrections? No. Then can I ask for a proposer and a seconder for the adoption of that?
I'm happy to propose.
Thanks, Member Van Wyk and Member Constable to second it. Thank you. Then the first quarterly report from April to June. I just want to find out, Mr. Kutsia, in terms of these two reports, are we required to adopt the first quarterly report and the second quarterly report at today's meeting, both of those? And is that for both departments?
Chairperson, in fact, that's the quarterly report for our committee.
Yes.
It's basically a summary of all our activities
the committee
for
reports.
the first quarter.
Sure.
Yeah.
100%. I get it. Sorry,
so
I was thinking in terms of the ones that we've just received now.
No,
Okay.
no.
So in terms of the committee report from April to June, that has obviously also been circulated. Do we have any amendments or corrections in terms of that? No. Do we then have a proposed? Yes, Mr. Kutsia.
So, sorry, Chairperson, I will just bring the members' attendance in line with what is now going to be corrected in the minutes. So Member Van Wyk will then reflect on the quarterly reports as well. Yeah, I'll just bring that in line with the minutes there.
Okay, great. Do we have a proposer and a seconder then for the first quarterly report of the committee? Yes, Member Masipa.
Noko Masipa proposed that we adopt the
and Member Constable has seconded. Thank you very much. And then, colleagues, finally, the second quarterly report of our committee. Do we have a proposer and a seconder? Member Masipa. And then do we have a seconder? Member Wessels. Thank you very much, Member Wessels. All right, colleagues, that brings us to the end of the formal part of the agenda. All that remains is then resolutions going forward. I have sent through a couple of proposals coming out of some of our meetings to Mr. Kutsia. He also has a list of some of the other suggestions that have been made. And Mr. Kutsia and myself will meet before the end of this year just to discuss and go through some of those to ensure that all of your ideas and suggestions form part of our agenda going forward. Obviously, next year we will have quite a busy time, starting off with the State of the Province address, the State of the Nation address, and all of the other things that are going to be going on in site visits. But we really do owe it to our constituents and to the general public to make sure that we are out there and we are visible and we are conducting our oversight not only via the computers and the chamber, but also out in the field, I think almost more importantly. Are there any other resolutions? Are you happy with my way forward in terms of meeting in order to populate that? Obviously, we'll bring that to the committee at the beginning of next year, just for ratification. But are there any other proposed resolutions before we close the meeting? No?
We are happy, Chair.
Thank you very much. Member Stoffel has her hand up.
Yes, Chair. Yes, Chair. Chair, I might be slow now, but you have sent the resolutions where to?
Sorry?
Where did you send it? Where did you put it, like the proposed resolutions? Because my understanding is after a committee sitting, you take a resolutions within that quorum.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that's
yeah. If we are going to
no. Okay, just to clarify. So yes. I have had some chats with other people who have made recommendations, outside bodies as well, who want to present to the committee, and I've sent those through to Mr. Kutsia. That is along with all of our resolutions that we've taken as suggestions. So I'm going to meet with Mr. Kutsia to go through all of those in terms of the resolutions we've made as a committee, and then suggestions of other groups who wish to present to the committee at some stage as well for interest. And we will then propose that early next year, and the committee can then decide if they are happy with the timetable and the proposed items for the agenda going forward. Does that make sense?
Yes, Chair, it makes
Great.
sense.
Thank you so much. Colleagues, thank you. I know some of us will be in Member van Wyk's meeting at 1 o'clock. So we have a little bit of a break between now and then. But thank you very much for all of your inputs and your attendance today, and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair, and